Namaste, and welcome to Inspirations, the weekly NTV show that brings you inspiring people working throughout Nepal. I'm Mike Rosenkrantz of VSO. Today we have another special guest, Meenraj Panti, who is the team leader of Disability and Development at ActionAid Nepal. And Meenraj is a person with sight impairment who is legally blind, but is doing incredible work in Nepal. Welcome, Meenraj.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for your kind and encouraging word.
Let's start off our conversation by you telling us a little bit about your family background.
Some 46 years before, I was born in one of the remote villages in Gallery district. Certainly my family was quite poor, but the respected one. We were 5 children of our parents, and we lost our father in his very early age. That's the reason we all children were brought up by our single mom. And you mentioned earlier that I was not born as a normal child. Normal in the sense I did have visual impairment. I did have this cataract in my both eyes when I was born. It was the birth cataract or something like that. And so we didn't have opportunity to treat it, to cure it, or to even to show to the doctor or something like that. In this time we have very good doctors, technology and so on, but those days it was very difficult even to find doctors. And my family, I had a single mom. I didn't have father, and then no one would take me to hospital or something like that. So I could happen to be visually impaired person. If I born these days, I would have a full vision.
Did you get your school leaving certificate, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, you went all the way.
No. I mean, actually, I stayed a few years in rehabilitation center.
Okay.
Some vocational training, as well as the schooling. And part for half time schooling and half time vocational training.
Okay.
Something like that. After 2 years, I was very interested in studying, and then also capable, I think.
Right.
And so after 2 years, I was shifted to another school. That is the school, integrated school, laboratory schools. It is situated in Kathmandu, Kirtipur, Kathmandu.
Okay.
I started my study through this school. I completed a school living examination.
You did? Huh?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Securing very good marks, in those days also. Only 20 marks I lost to be, to come in the board, board. Board, it means, if I secure like more 20 marks, I would be board 10th or something like that.
Okay.
So, just to that sense, I was a good student, and so I completed SLC. And I continued my study. Definitely, we had, I had ups and downs.
Of course.
A lot of problems. My family was so poor; they couldn't support me at all.
Okay.
And so when I completed my SLC exam, then they, government and all this organization, they wouldn't have program, to support me, to teach me. Even the colleges were not that ready to admit person like me. So it was, it was really difficult time again. And so anyhow, I could be able to get a scholarship from Nepal, German Nepal Health Association, something like that.
Okay.
Not something like that, from that organization.
Right.
And then I continued my study.
Yeah.
After 3 years, I had the opportunity to go US to study at least for 1 year's course.
Okay.
And I completed that course, and again I, joined my college, continue my study.
Okay.
And I completed master's degree in sociology.
That's Fantastic.
That's ended my study or something like that, formally, you know.
But what are some of the main things that, some of the deterrents, some of the things that you've come across that you've had to overcome in doing your work?
Particularly, if we go in the villages, still the disability issue is, nothing. Still in many areas, you can find there are the initiative to empower the person with
Right.
disability. Even, there are several examples. I don't have time to, to tell, to elaborate here.
Right.
And so particularly we need to empower the community. We are also lacking the fund, and then also utilizing the fund properly,
Right.
and then the capacity building. Actually, the capacity building of the community, capacity building of the donor,
Yeah.
capacity building of the different stakeholders. People, they don't know disability. Because of the ignorance, they are also ignoring it,
Right.
And so, a lot of barriers, a lot of barriers.
A lot.
Barriers in physical infrastructure, barriers in information communication, barriers in attitudes, barriers in capacity buildings. Many things we can see the barriers, and because of the barriers, the people are quite isolated. They are,
Right.
deprived from the opportunity. And so they are, we are focusing education for all. If you go in the community, I have visited several communities even recently, there are a lot of children with disability.
There are.
They are not counted, you see. And then the success cases, different organizations, they present the success cases, they are even different schools, even government, they said they have been able to enroll like 95%, 96% or something like that. But they don't count the person with disability. They consider they are the separate people. They are another people from another world, something like that. And that's the reason they are quite missing. A lot of barriers, twin track approach or
Yes.
multiple approach.
Yes.
A lot of things, to do simultaneously.
So a lot to get more inclusion in society.
Yeah, exactly. More inclusion in the society, and then role of each and every stakeholders, to include the issue and then to take the burden of the issue or something like that.
Who has inspired you in your life? Who are some of the people or organizations?
Definitely in my whole career, I have come across so many important people, different people. They impacted me and on me, implicitly or explicitly. But I can't point out this and that. It is very difficult. But I have one special person I also mentioned earlier. He is Mr. Bharat Mani Khanal. Actually, he is my cousin, brother as well. He is my cousin,
Right.
cousin brother.
Right.
If he wouldn't be able to bring me in Kathmandu
Right.
and then admit me in the rehabilitation center or something like that, I think I wouldn't be, like this. I wouldn't come to,
Yeah.
I wouldn't come here to interview with you.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so your cousin brother.
Actually, he played the very crucial role, in my life. What he did, that is always unforgettable. And so I can't, stop my heart, not mentioning his name,
Right.
not remembering him.
Right.
So I think he is the very crucial person, very special person.
Although
Although there are so many other people,
Right.
they also
always are. Yeah.
supported me, impacted me very positively, something like that.
Yeah. What are some of the moments that really stand out in your life where, it's made a great impression upon you?
Actually, when I was studying in the community school, I mentioned earlier, when the school administration, when the school teacher, they forcibly retire me not to go to school. That moment, that day, I was so shocked. I was really stunned. Still, I feel very difficult to remember that moment.
Yeah.
Another good moment, when I was When I was working with the Federation of the Disabled,
Ah.
The Federation of the Disabled People in Nepal.
Yeah.
Actually, I worked like some 10 years as a volunteer job with this federation, establishing, grooming, a lot of work I contributed to this federation
Yeah.
as well. And once we were struggling, we were protesting to draw the attention of the government several months with different activities, one after another, but the government didn't listen to our demand or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we went to, actually I led, I was the leader, and so I led to stage the hunger strike, indefinite hunger strike. And so we 6 people, we sat together for the hunger strike, and then after 6 days, we broke out this hunger strike.
Wow.
Because the government agreed to fulfill our demands, to support, to pay attention towards this issue. The Prime Minister and the other minister, they agreed. They signed the copy of the agreement to support, and so actually before then,
Yeah.
disability issue was not that hard, not that attentive.
Right.
Particularly it was in Kathmandu, and then to some organization, to some people. So it was not that much coverage,
Yes.
or something like that. But because of this hunger strike, it got a lot of coverage, a lot of media, the media, the different, the newspaper, they gave the headline. After a few months, they developed this formulated this Self-Development Act. It was the impacted of this struggle. It was the impacted of the,
So a very major moment.
Exactly, yeah. It was
Very
it was the impact. It was the result.
Yes.
Of that hunger strike, of that protest,
Uh.
something like that. And so I think I'm often very happy remembering that moment.
That's great.
We really impacted.
And finally, Raj, can you tell us, or what is the message that you want to leave our audience with?
Okay, actually, I'm not the intelligent person, maybe not hardworking as well, but I'm honest and transparent.
Right.
And so I believe in honesty and transparency. So, being intelligent is something different thing. It may not be in my control,
Right.
because how I could be brought up, how my family supported my childhood, or something like that. It connected with your brain development as well.
Right.
And so I'm not the intelligent person. So I'm also not this hardworking. It could be, but that might be my weaknesses or something like that. But I'm the honest person. And so, what I would like to say,
Yes.
let us think positively. Let us try to do something better for the society. Rather than always thinking individual level, let us think our community, our people, the deprived people. If really we try to contribute something, we can do a lot of things, to change the life of the poor and excluded. And so, from the disability point of view, I would like to call upon, to mainstream it, to, increase some investment,
Yes.
and to impact them, and to give the life of hope and dignity, happiness, something like that. And so, I don't have the very big message,
Right.
but it's the message of sensitivity.
Yes.
It's the message of we need to contribute, we need to be sensitive for the human dignity, human rights, something like that.
Thank you, Raj. Namaste. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining us. Dari Batola.